Okay, so good evening, everyone. Mr. Emmanuel, good evening and welcome on board. So, good evening once again, and welcome to the December
Hello,
edition of
everyone.
the Finance Business Partners virtual session. This virtual session is aimed at preparing us on ways to maximize our potentials as professionals in 2023. This particular virtual session is brought to you via a collaborative effort of the Finance Business Partners and Accounting Job Corp. So over time, you see that everyone is always fascinated by the turn of a new year, with people having lots of prospects on achievements to be made and success to be recorded every year. However, at the end of every year, we as professionals will discover that there are actually lapses in what we've actually prospected at the beginning of every year, and we look back and we see that we could have actually done better on the events that happen on yearly basis. At the beginning of every year, everyone sets goals and we hope to attain these goals come year end. But at the end of the year, you will discover that these are goals are usually not actualized. So our research person this evening in person of Mr. Abikunje Emmanuel would be dishing out insights on ways that we as professionals can maximize our potentials in 2023. So Mr. Abigunde Emmanuel is a strategic human resource professional. He has rendered bespoke services to different entities over the years in areas of daily business operations, strategy, revenue monitoring, and general administration. He is a culture driver, a change manager, and promotes an environment of people, process, and staff development through mentorship, training, performance management, and team leadership. It is our hope that at the end of this session, we would all have learned strategies, techniques, and tactics that we would use in making 2023 a memorable year for us, and as well as a year that we would all have goals and attain the desired goals that we would set out. So, Mr. Abigunde Emmanuel, we are glad to have you once again. Thank you for honoring our invitation to speak to our community members. We are glad to have you. Welcome on board.
Okay, thank you very much, Idris, and thanks to the executives of Finance Business Partners and Accounting Job Hub, if I'm correct. Good evening, everyone. For everyone joining from Nigeria or West Africa, good evening. If you are joining from other places, it could be good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to you, wherever you are joining from. It's a pleasure to be here, and may I say compliments of the season to everyone. And I hope that 2023 will be a beautiful year for every one of us, by God's grace. Okay, so I've been asked to talk about how we can maximize our opportunities, how we can maximize the opportunities available to us as professionals in 2023, if I'm correct. And I think speaking to Idris earlier today, I was asking if I needed to use slides, and he said, well, it would be great if I could come up with slides, and if not, I could just talk. So because I believe I'm talking to professionals, I have to quickly do the honor of putting something together in the last few minutes. So please, if my slide looks ugly, just pardon me. It's not my fault. It is time. Right. But I want to believe that in the next 30, 45 minutes I'm going to be talking to us, it's going to be an engaging session. I will try as much as possible to draw from personal experiences of people I know, right? And one or two of the things that I've learned over the last few years of my career that I believe may come in handy for everyone. And hopefully at the end of the session, we may have like a question and answer session. So if I have an answer for your question, I will answer it. If I don't, you won't crucify me. Okay, so please confirm that you can see my screen on presentation mode. Sorry, if you are leaving chat, I will not be able to see it because I'm on presentation mode, so you may just unmute and speak.
Yeah, I can see your screen from here, sir.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you. So yeah, maximizing your potentials as a professional in 2023. And we are going to be speaking in line with some of these bullets that I've put up here. So if we are to maximize our potentials, of course, I'm not going to be doing definition of terms and all of those because I believe we are all professionals, we know what we are talking about. But if we are talking about how to maximize our potentials or make the best out of a particular season, period, or time, then it is important that we understand a few of the peculiarities of that season, a few of the peculiarities of that time, right? So I'm going to be speaking to that, looking at trends from the talent perspective in 2023. What should we look out for in terms of research data? What kind of opportunities are available? What kind of issues are we likely going to be encountering? And things like that. And that helps us to then gain insight to what we should stop doing, what we should start doing, and what we should focus more, on doing. Also, we'll look at the opportunities available in 2023. If we are maximizing our potentials, then we need to know how to align those inherent skills and potentials that we have as individuals or as groups, as teams, how to align them with those available opportunities in 2023. And then I will talk briefly on some practical steps and strategies that we can put in place, to maximizing our potentials. So please, if you have any questions during the course of the conversation, if it is something that could wait, till I'm done with my talk, you could just put it on chat. If it cannot wait, probably you just unmute and stop me, okay? Because I will not be able to see chats since I'm presenting on presentation mode. Okay, so that is that. So I believe we can fire on now. Right, so now looking at 2023 talent trends, of course, all of these trends are results of what we've been seeing over the last few years in terms of, pre-COVID era, COVID season, post-COVID era. A lot of things have changed. The way we look at our trends analysis, and the way we do our studies and all of those things, and the thoughts, principles, and guidelines that guide us before 2020, all of them were disrupted in 2020. From February, March 2020, especially for us in Africa, we had a totally different landscape. For some other countries, especially in the West and in some parts of Asia, it started all the way from late 2019, And I remember then we used to talk about future of work around 2014, 2015, thereabouts. It was a very hot topic in the professional space, right? But again, because we are in Africa, many people, many professionals, many senior executives actually said we are just bluffing, that some of these disruptions we are talking about are far away. We don't have that money in Africa to invest into these things. We cannot work remotely. The robotics cannot work here. Artificial intelligence has a lot of flaws. We cannot do it. We just saw the reasons we cannot do something or something cannot be achieved in our climb, because again, this is Africa. These are emerging markets. We don't have the money, we don't have the resources. And I believe personally that all of these cannot, all of these will not, all of these excuses, that executives put up to block innovation, to block collaboration, and the things that we now enjoy today is because they don't see it happening. We have been used to a certain way of working, and we are not flexible enough to adopt a new way of working. And it is just because we have not also come into a new way of thinking and reasoning. So for us to succeed in 2023 and beyond, we must actually leave behind our old ways of thinking, first and foremost, and embrace new ways of thinking in order for us to see the opportunities that are available to us. So going back to trends and going back to, the way we work pre-COVID, I'm sure that there are quite a number of us here on this call that have been working pre-COVID. Not everybody is very, very young professional, right? And I mean, you spend hours in traffic, which still happens till now anyway, right? And I mean, how many people are on Zoom, on Skype, and all of those things? We just do our WhatsApp. Slack was not really very, very popular then. Zoom was popular, but how many people were using it? But then all of these tools actually got patronage when COVID came and everybody had to work remotely. Or let me say, larger percentage of the working population had to then work remotely, except you are in essential services or medical services that you have to go physically to your place of work, you need to work remotely. Now, and that singular thing actually changed the way we conduct business, changed the way we see life, and it totally changed opportunities around us. So some opportunities that we think or we thought were going to take another 10, 15, 20 years to get to us actually came in a few weeks, right? I mean, if you are talking about artificial intelligence, talking about robotics, talking about blockchain accounting, right? Technology accounting. Many of these things were novel. Maybe only multinational organizations or high-tech organizations are practicing some of these things and are even training their staff on some of these areas, But because the need now arose for us to tap into this, everybody had to start looking for ways, to doing things. So the number one trend I have here is that there will be more job vacancies in 2023. And it is not far-fetched. Again, it is a VUCA world, right? It is a VUCA world. It is volatile, it is uncertain, it is complex, it is ambiguous. That's the meaning of VUCA. And how does this VUCA affect you and I? If you remember correctly, nobody thought a Trump can become the president of America, right? And then Trump came and became president of America. Whether you like him or you don't like him is another debate for another time, not on this call. But it was shocking that after Barack Obama, with Barack Obama's performance as far as we Africans are concerned, we wouldn't think that Clinton was going to lose that election, right? Whatever happened with the Electoral College, for people that are political savvy here, is not up for debate anymore because it has come, it has gone. But Trump became president in America. And as if that was not enough, a lot of changes, a lot of regulation, a lot of, amendments and things like that came with that. Buhari became president in Nigeria, the economy started going down, and they would come up again and they would come down again. It is volatile, it is unpredictable. And then David Cameron said, Brexit, Britain needs to exit European Union. And then it became another worldwide phenomenon. Everybody was talking about Brexit. Everybody was talking about Brexit. And for every prime minister that could not deliver that mandate, they had to resign. So David Cameron left, what's her name? Please remind me the name of the woman that came in after David Cameron. Pardon? No. Not Liz. Liz was a few months ago, right? There was a woman after David Cameron. I can't remember her name now. And then she came and then she did a bit. Yes, Theresa. Thank you. Theresa May came. Theresa May. Yes, I could hear you. Thank you. Theresa May. That's correct. Thank you. So Theresa May came, and then she did a bit and then left. And then what's his name now? This other guy, and the way government is changing, it is just being disrupted. So today you don't know whether the prime minister today is going to be the prime minister tomorrow. And then, there were just those changes in the global space.
And then Trump had to leave, and Joe came in and became the president of America. And then there were a lot of things happening in Africa. And as if that was not enough, while we are still trying to reset from COVID, our gentleman in Russia launched the first rocket into Ukraine. And then that again crashed a lot of things. A lot of developments started coming up, sanctions from here and there, rising inflation, all because two countries are at war. So that led to a fall in crypto market, right? Led to a fall in crypto market, led to a rise in gas price. And then because economies, they've been managing the economies, global economies now, before now. But because of this singular reason of war, a lot of things actually came into limelight and many balls dropped. And so we have global inflation. Another 2008 is upon us. For those that understood what I meant by 2008, there was global recession in 2008, right? And a lot of organizations, too big to fail banks in the US, for instance, went away with it. They were nowhere to be found again. So these are the things that are happening in our world today. So as volatile as it is, as ambiguous as it is, as uncertain and complex as it is, there are a lot of opportunities that could come from this. Now, with COVID, a lot of people died. And you know that, in the Western world, they have older population. They have, more older population than younger population because of birth control. So they had to, before the First World War, I'm just trying to paint a lot of scenarios so that you understand the background of where we are coming from. Right after the First and Second World War, they lost a lot of their adults, and then they had to ask people to start giving birth. And then when they saw that they had enough people in their countries, they started talking about birth control, started bringing medication, started bringing technologies and all to just stop people from giving birth. And then a lot of ideology. So I want to get married, but I don't want to have children, or it's homosexuality, just to control birth, to control population increase. And that came into being. Now, because of this birth control thing, they actually have a lot of aged population, but lesser younger population now. These people died from COVID. A lot of people died from COVID. And that, of course, also created a lot of pandemonium in the talent world. And so there came up a lot of opportunities. There are a lot of jobs, a lot of opportunities that came with COVID, a lot of companies that crashed and they were able to rebuild after COVID. A lot of opportunities came up and there were no people to fill it. And that is why they are looking for you, Africans. Because we have younger population. If I look at Nigeria statistics, for instance, more than 30% of our population is actually youth. If I'm correct, maybe about 45% of our population is youth. Another percentage are the children, and just a few percentage are the aged people. That's 60 and above. So it means that there came a lot of opportunities for us, and that is why you will now see that currently there are more jobs than talent. Okay, so one of the studies conducted showed that there are 1.7 job vacancies for every unemployed persons, and that is amazing. If this data is true, it means that there are almost 2 vacancies for one person that is unemployed. Now, the question is, why am I not getting the job? Why are we not getting those opportunities? Well, we are going to get there. Another trend, which is important, which I've mentioned before, is rising inflation. And this is a global phenomenon. If you check the UK is no longer just dealing with inflation. They are now gradually entering into recession. The same thing with United States of America. They are gradually entering into a recession. And IMF, and their central banks are doing everything just to ensure that they don't enter into recession. Now, if we look at it back home, the CBN is telling us that our inflationary rate in Nigeria is 21.4%, right? And you and I know that is a lie. It is just official inflation rate. I mean, how much do you use to buy your laptop? How much is it now? I know I have a lot of accountants in the call, right? You guys are the one, disbursing funds. You are in payables. For goods, for raw materials, for things, how much were you paying before now? How much is it now? If you look at it, the trends from 6 years ago, 2016 till now, how have we gone? Let me not say improve, because that's not an improvement. But how down have we gone in terms of inflation, in terms of pricing, in terms of controls? You will then agree with me that we have over 70% inflationary rate. Disruption is coming due to general elections in Nigeria in 2023. We are going to be having change of government, and with change of government comes a lot of change in polity, change in economic policies, right? Change in the political landscape, okay? Change in, foreign direct investments are coming, because investors then need to check, is it a good place to invest? Or maybe we should check, what is this president going to do? What is that going to do? What's this governor going to do? And things like that. And then coming to the corporate world now, there's going to be increased emphasis on soft skills, right? Increased emphasis on soft skills, because we have also then realized that the available talent are more of potential than performance. So we are looking for people that have potential to work, people that have potential to be future stars, not current stars, because the current stars, many of them Tijapa, right? Many of them have gone. They've gone to other companies, they've gone to other countries. Some are not even interested in traveling abroad, because they can enjoy affordable electricity, affordable fuel, affordable housing here, and earn in dollars. Okay, so that opportunity actually came for them, and so they are not interested in doing your job and collect naira here in Nigeria. Then we are going to spotlight transferable skills. What skills do you have from this job that you can actually transfer to this job? You're an accountant, but you are moving into data analysis. Okay, so what are the transferable skills you have? I could do Microsoft Excel. I understand Power BI very well. That's a transferable skill to this. My communication skills, no matter how soft, is also transferable to this new environment that I'm coming into. Okay, what are some of the technical skills that you have that can be transferred to the new profession you are moving into? Okay, and then another trend which has started this year and will likely continue next year is tech crash in technology, in the technology space. You've seen a lot of you've seen a lot of downsizing going on in the tech world. Amazon is sacking 11,000 people. Facebook sacked about 10,000 people. Twitter sacked about 7,000 people. This one is sacking so number of people. And it became, fearful, right? Showed a lot of fear to the hearts of people what is happening around the globe, because they don't make as much money as they used to make. Now, what that means is that people, right, tend to spend the little amount of money they have on food rather than tech products. It is when I've eaten, I can think about, surfing the internet, and doing stuff online. When I've not eaten, I mean, you can't tell me anything. Okay, and because of that also led to Fintech Recession. We saw how that, is it FTX now? Correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's FTX, how they crashed, and then their crash, led to many other Bitcoin, digital coin organizations actually crashing, because all of them actually have heavy investment, in FTX. And their crash actually affected everybody. So fintech is crashing because, again, some people built products to kill other products, and then there is no need for those products again. And a lot of things politically that we don't need to delve into now. But there is fintech recession going around the globe. And then another thing that is important for us is that we need to then reskill and upskill, because the jobs that are available, the opportunities that are available demand some kind of new skills. So understanding double entry may not be enough anymore. Okay? I mean, because there are now technologies that you need to understand in order for you to be able to stay afloat and to stay relevant in your work. So these are some of the trends that are affecting the talent landscape, or that will affect the talent landscape in 2023. And as smart professionals, we need to understand how this affects us positively and negatively, right? By conducting a personal SWOT analysis. So these are the trends, okay? What are my strengths in areas of these opportunities? What are the weaknesses that I know that I have as a person, right? What are the opportunities available to me from the global perspective? And what are the threats to my career, okay, or to my profession from the external perspective? And this will help you to actually understand your current standing, okay? Because from your SWOT analysis, you already understand your areas of gaps. And then that can help you to understand where you need to reskill, where you need to upskill, where you need to convert your weaknesses to strength, and where you need to leverage the opportunities available to you. So what are some of the opportunities that are available in 2023? With all of these things that I've said, with all of these negativities, with all of this volatility and uncertainty, with all of this complexity and ambiguity, there are a lot actually cash out during a recession, right? I mean, I know that I'm speaking to more of accountants, and you can bear me witness in some of these things, and you even understand the technicality more than some of us. But again, in 2023, like I said earlier, there are going to be more jobs. There are going to be more jobs in 2023. Why? Many people have left their jobs, okay? I think there was a data I saw a few months ago, that should be around August, thereabout, and they released data of, I think, the last 2 or 3 years of number of immigrants into the UK from Nigeria, right? And then we saw how that the data actually increased from what it used to be by over 100% thereabout. And then we are seeing people leave the country in thousands. I mean, I'm sure that many of us here on this call have also experienced it, that you just talk to your guy and your guy is saying, guy, here is cold, though. And you're like, where is cold? Is it this same Amatan? You say, no, Amatan, it's winter. And you're like, I don't understand. Winter in Abeokuta. Oga, Nigeria, you did. Yeah, I'm no longer in Nigeria. I'm now in Poland. I'm now in Sweden. And you're like, okay, what is happening? Or your guy is not even telling you. How did you get to know? You just saw that your guy is decluttering, putting things for sale on their WhatsApp status and on their Instagram. Oh, do you want to buy SETI? Do you want to buy TV, flat screen TV? Do you want to buy AC? You just need a little gas refilling. And you're like, Chief, what's happening? Are you changing your furniture and things in your house? No, it's Japa. And so Japa has been the main thing now. I'm sure that Japa is a topic in many offices. I remembered, I think about 2-3 months ago, a colleague called me in the office, and was like, hey, Charles, are you not tired of this country? Are you not traveling? Are you not planning to leave? Needless to say that person is already planning to leave. That's why she could start the conversation in that manner. Are you not planning to leave? So many people have left. Many people will still leave. I mean, just about 15 minutes before I entered this call, one of the partners in my firm called me and was like, oh, this person is going to be leaving us. And I was like, okay, there is someone I was thinking was going to get promoted in March, latest by March to another level, because the person is just so fantastic and all. But it is what it is, right? So succession plan in the mud, talent plan in the mud, workforce planning in the mud, because the person you are even hoping to succeed this mission critical role, right? So let's say you have a role that is mission critical and you have put a succession plan together that, if this person leaves, this other person is going to take over. Meanwhile, before the incumbent is leaving or decides to leave, the successor, who is the future person that is supposed to take over the role, has submitted resignation. So what all of those meant is that for other talents that have not been able to get opportunities all this while, there is opportunity for them. So there are new jobs, okay? Foreign direct investment into Africa, there will be more investment in Africa, okay? Because we are talking about climate change, we are talking about, investment in agriculture and all of those things. Africa is well positioned for many of these global opportunities. So there's going to be more money coming into Africa from 2023. There are a lot of opportunities around the globe. You could travel out. You could get a job around the globe. It's an opportunity over there. Blockchain. We are now seeing how finance people can actually mine data, from the blockchain and use it to make more business decisions. So blockchain is going to bring a lot more opportunity to people. Technology is going to bring a lot of opportunities to people because there are now tools and technologies that are smart that could help you do your job in a better way, that could help you do your job in a more agile and smarter way and to deliver results more efficiently. So technology is going to bring a lot of opportunities. So you know how to use SAP, you know how to use Sage. It prepares you for some other disruptions that may come into your profession from the technology perspective. Okay. And again, like I said, you can actually be in the comfort of your home and work for an organization abroad and earn in foreign currency. So there is a lot of opportunities. And that is why it is important for every one of us to actually evolve and grow. You need to leave that lava stage, and move into becoming a full-fledged butterfly. You need to evolve. And to do that, you actually need to look at yourself from your career perspective and determine what I'm doing now. Does it align with my future goals? Okay. And that also brings me to saying that, I've seen many people, right? And in my engagements with people are dynamic. People are dynamic. Sometimes you see someone and the person will tell you, I'm looking for a job. And then you ask them, what kind of job are you looking for? Then they say anything. The fact that you studied finance in school does not mean that you must work in finance. You know that, right? The fact that you're an accountant, you have a CA, you have a CCA, does not mean you have to actually work in that line. You may find your passion somewhere else that you are better at. And the fact that you did not study anything relating to accounting or management does not mean that you cannot end up as a very good, badass accountant, right? So at every point in time, we must sit down and look at our goals. What is my goal from a career perspective? For some people, they just want to make money. They just want to earn a pay, right? And that is their own goal. And that is why they jump at anything that comes to them. But for someone that has a place going, for someone that has something, something in focus, you don't just jump at anything. So you evolve from where you currently are and you take that leap to where you need to be. Okay, so I think I have just about 7 more minutes to 45 minutes. So I'll be a bit faster now. Now, what are the steps we need to take? What are the things we need to engage in and with to maximizing our potential? Number one thing is that you need to conduct a skill audit. What is a skill audit? A skill audit is a process, right, whereby you look at your skills, your personal skills, be it technical, be it soft, be it transferable skills, right, that you currently have against what you need to have. So you are conducting an audit to be sure that, okay, what the skill I have today is against the standard that I have set for myself at this stage of my career. There's something we call competency framework. And competency framework is actually a tool, that helps us to map competencies of different individuals based on their career level. So we identify skills and competencies that is important for us as an organization. Now, at this career level of a particular professional, so let me pick banking industry for instance. You are an assistant banking officer for now. You are moving to banking officer and from banking officer to senior banking officer. What is the competency you require to move to that next level? What are the proficiency levels you must have attained in order for you to be able to thrive in that competence area or area of competency? Okay, so you need to also do that on yourself. Okay, so I'm currently an associate. I am moving to managerial level, or I'm currently a senior associate. I'm moving to manager level. I'm currently a manager. I'm moving to vice president or executive level. What are those things, that I need to have known, that I need to have learned, that I need to be able to do functioning or handle, in the next level? Okay, so I'm benchmarking myself against my next level. Because for you to actually get promoted to the next level, it means you have shown capacity and capability to be able to function well in that level. So nobody is going to promote you to a level that you don't have the capacity for. I remember Jamie Fashion released something on his Instagram a few weeks ago, or maybe months ago. This waiting kill him thing. And then he said, waiting kill him. He go accept job that is above his competency level. So you need to be sure that you can actually handle what is coming for you. So a skill audit is important there. You may read more on it. Then you need to actually understand what tools you need to master to get to that next level. We are talking about maximizing your potentials. Again, potential means that you've shown attributes. There are attributes that you can do this thing. Okay? It means when they say you have potential for something, it means there is a possibility for you to, to thrive, to do well, not just to survive, but to thrive in that particular thing. So for you to actually maximize your potential in terms of the opportunities, sorry, my boy is doing his thing. So for you to be able to maximize your potential, you need to understand what you need to do to get to your next level. So if your next level after now, probably you're a finance manager right now, and you want to become head of finance or CFO, what are the skills you need to have as a CFO? What are the tools you need to understand how to use as a CFO? Okay, so you need to know that. Then the next thing, is your current job aligned with your career goals? And that is a very sincere question that every one of you must ask yourself, and you must be able to answer it. So you want to become a finance expert in the future. Your goal is to be the CFO of a financial institution. Your goal is to be a CFO in a global tech organization. But currently what you are doing is payables and receivables. It is not bad, right? But can you look at the career trajectory of your current role? You are currently in an operations stuff. Finance is more strategic. Does it align with your career goal? What are the things you need to do to move from payables, okay, to core finance, to forecasting, to analysis, to financial planning and analysis, to forecasting, to budgeting, okay, to treasury management? You need to understand that. So there is a gap, okay? This is where I am in terms of my current job. I could say that it is a misalignment from where I am going. Oh, I want to be a CFO. I'm currently in customer service. Or I'm currently in product management. What I'm doing in product management is simply sales, product sales management. But this is what I want to become. Then you need to then design a personal development plan, PDP, that will take you from where you currently are to where you need to be. So I'm currently in operations controlling. What will take me to FP&A, right? I'm currently in FP&A. What will take me to to the tech space? I want to be able to mine data on the blockchain technology. What are the things I need to know? What are the things I need to learn? Okay. Then is your social capital strong enough, right, to take you to your next level? Is it strong enough to help you leverage opportunities? I always tell people that when I apply for jobs, and it's not as if my CV is bad, my CV is very fantastic. But I most of the time don't get interviews when I apply directly. However, I've changed jobs a few times. And every time that I needed to change job, it is someone submitting my CV somewhere. And then I go for the interview, and then I succeed at the interview, then I get the job. So what's your social capital like, right? I used to tell people before now that if you have 1,000 friends on Facebook and none of those friends can actually recommend you for a job, then you don't have a good network. You don't have a strong network. Your social capital is weak. But Facebook is not even the in thing now. If you have 500, 1,000 followers on Twitter, and none of them can say this is what this guy or this lady is good at, contact this person for this thing, then you need to look at what you are putting out. You need to look at your content. What are people following? Okay? If you have more than 500 connections on LinkedIn and it is difficult for you to get a job, then you need to actually reevaluate those connections, that network. Because your network has to be strong enough to be able to bring opportunities, to your table. At this point in time, I don't want to talk to my friends on just football, or things. I'm looking for opportunities. Oh, what's happening in your space? How can we tap into it? Okay, this is how I can use my services to better your process. Okay? Okay, so can you bring a proposal? That is what I want to be discussing. I don't want friends that, they are not bringing any economic or commercial value to me. At every point in time, it is billing. You need to also reevaluate your friends, okay? And this is the last of the things we are going to talk about in terms of maximizing your potential. You need to understand the success quotient. And this quotient developed by Adeoyo Aboduni and contributed to by Yemi Fashion, was developed sometimes 2019, and I found it to be true, and that is why I've come up with it today. That for you to say that you arrive at career success, you need the God factor, which is important. You need political quotient. Now, I'm sure that there are some people in your organization that that this guy does not do anything. This guy is not technically strong. When you give this guy stuff to do, he's slacking on it. But anytime they are talking about the guys, the good guys in the firm, people that are getting promoted, this guy is one of them. Why is he getting promoted? The guy probably understood, how to deal politically, because every organization is a social environment and it's a political environment. When you have an organization, you can be sure there is politics. Okay? So how do you play that politics, that organizational politics to favor you? Again, I'm not downplaying the role of technical competencies. It is important. But I tell you the truth, even at interviews, the most technical people don't get the job. It is the person that could communicate better. And communication skills and technical skills are totally different. Okay? So what is your political quotient level? How political savvy are you? The next thing is your IQ, your intelligence quotient. That is where, your technical capability comes in. How technically sound are you? Oh, you want to, you are currently working in a very local organization. You want to move into a multinational firm. Your intelligence quotient is important. You need to be very smart. How about your social skills, your networking skills? So that if an opportunity opens up in my organization because you're in my network, can I recommend you for that? But if I don't know you, how will I be able to refer you for such roles? And your emotional intelligence quotient. So in 2023, you need to understand how to play office politics. Very, very important. You need to understand how to play office politics because you cannot maximize your potential without some elements of politics. Either someone is speaking for you, okay, that, oh no, this guy is my guy. You need to give him the opportunity. That is politics. someone in the organization nominating you. You have a sponsor within the space of your organization. Your intelligence quotient in terms of your IQ, in terms of your smartness, in terms of your critical thinking skills, it has to be top notch. Your technical capability. So if you currently have a lot of gaps technical wise, you may then need to look at it. Okay, what are the gaps that I currently have? How do I bridge those gaps? Very important. Very important. The next thing is your social quotient. You don't just want to amass connections on LinkedIn network. Oh, I have 15,000 followers on LinkedIn. Yet you are not selling anything. You are not selling skills. Nobody is patronizing you. Nobody is recommending you. Nobody is referring you for jobs. So much more than just having numbers. You need to have that quality. People that you are talking to, people that will call you when there are opportunities. Oh, guy, there's this opportunity. Is this something you can do? Or, oh, I know you can do this, but is this something you are available to do at this time? Your social network has to be strong enough. And then your emotional intelligence. You cannot downplay the place of emotional intelligence. If you have good friends, strong friends, but you don't have strong emotional intelligence, they may not be willing to recommend you for opportunities. So in all, to prepare for 2023, you need to understand this model. You need to understand the global landscape. You need to understand your gaps, your areas of gaps, and create a personal development plan. Okay, so maybe I'm going to share a personal development plan model or template with Idris so that it can also forward to you guys, or you can actually go on Google and type personal development plan template. What are the trainings you need to attend? What are the new knowledge that you need to gain? Okay, is your own problem dressing? There are some people, they just wear coats, and just wear a striped shirt or striped trouser with striped tie, and they just look like masquerade, and then you come for interview, and you're like, okay. And then by the time you are sounding the guy out, he's technically fit. But someone somewhere is saying this guy is not culturally fit for us. So no matter how technically strong he is, we cannot employ. Okay, so you need to understand all of those things. So how do I get better in terms of dressing? How do I get better in terms of my written communication, my report writing skills, if that is the area where you have noticed some gaps? Or how do I better my spoken communication skills? Or how do I understand gestures better? Or how do I better my presentation skills? Okay, because these are the things you need to get to your next level, right? So all of those things are very important. And then finally, you need to be sincere with yourself. Sometimes you come up with plans that we know that we cannot attain. Let your goals be smart. Let it be specific. Let it be measurable. Let it be achievable. Let it be realistic. And let it be time bound. Be realistic with yourself and set goals that you know are realistically possible, for you to achieve. I'm not saying don't challenge yourself. Challenge yourself, okay, and be the best that you can be. I believe 2023 is going to be a beautiful year. So study the trends and prepare ahead so that when opportunities come to you, you are readily prepared, to grab them. Thank you very much. At this point, I want to welcome your questions. Questions, please. Hello, am I communicating? Can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can hear you. We are with you.
Okay, please, anyone that has any question should unmute him or herself and ask his or her question.
Yes, good evening.
Hi,
Hello.
good evening.
Yes, thank you very much.
The question I have is how can I, because you mentioned those skills, written communication, report writing, but particularly presentation skill. How can I improve my presentation skill? Yes, that's my question.
Okay, great. For your presentation skills, number one, how can you improve any skill is by practicing. So you want to better your presentation skills, do presentations, right? And you know, presentation skills is not PowerPoint design, right? It is not about, oh, I'm good at PowerPoint. It's about how do you deliver that presentation? How do you communicate with your audience? How do you relate with your audience? When you have a physical, I mean, I've seen people that when it comes to webinar, virtual sessions, they are fantastic. This guy can talk, they can deliver the slides and things like that. But tell them to come and do the same thing in a physical setting. Akwati jabo, right? So you need to be able to do it on both ends. So get some opportunities if you belong to a social group and you are good at what you do. Nominate yourself, right, to present, right? Speak about it. And then another thing that you can do is that you can actually get a coach that would actually help you, to guide you through how to present. So the person will give you some practical activities to do. Okay, so come present to me, critique your presentation and things like that. You can watch a lot of YouTube videos, for both the theoretical and the practical aspect. So you are looking at gestures, you are looking at command of language, you are looking at how the person is relating with their audience, and you are putting some of these things into practice. And that way you can also better yourself. So that's it, Malikis.
Yes, thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome. Okay, so Femi dropped a question here. He said, what advice do you have for young people who think that Japa is the only route to having a successful future? Let me tell you guys something. Number one, we can say that success is what you define it to be. But sometimes it is not always like that, because there are some people that when we see them, we know they are successful. Nobody has to tell us that this person is successful. It's just like I used to tell people, and please don't quote me on this, okay? When people say beauty is in the eye of the beholder, I always don't agree with it, right? Because there are some people, when you see them, you just know that this guy is handsome. This babe is beautiful. You don't need anybody to explain to you how that this person is beautiful or how that this person is handsome. But there are some other people, it is only in the eye of the beholder that the person is beautiful, right? Now, for some other people, you have to actually explain how that this person is a successful person. Meanwhile, you don't need anyone to tell you that Dangote is successful. And I think that's my own definition of financial success. So success is in different forms. We have financial success, we have career success. If you work in the banking space and you get to the executive level, you have a successful career. Am I correct? If you work in the consulting space and you get to the partner level, you have a successful career. So now, what does success mean to you, or what is success in your space? That is number one. Number two, do you think I can actually become successful in Nigeria? So if you are looking at success from the perspective of financial perspective, you are looking at it from career perspective, you are looking at it from family life perspective. You are someone that believes in family, like you want to settle down, you want to get married, you want to have children. That's all that success means to you, right? Now, can you achieve it in Nigeria? The answer is yes, because many people have achieved it. Many people are still going to achieve it. Now, there is not a single route to a market. When we are defining route to market strategy, for instance, in strategic meetings, there are several routes that you can, there are several strategies to go into the market. The same way with this Japa thing. I believe, and this is my personal belief, that when you Japa, you're actually going over there most likely to live an average life. because the Pareto principle will always come into play. 80%, out of the 100% of the people that japa, 20% of them will become very successful. We control the remaining 80%. It is what it is. It is Pareto principle, and we have seen it to be true all the time. Okay? Japa is a very good thing. You can japa, and be successful, but you can also stay in Nigeria, grow your network, grow your career, and become successful. I also believe that it is actually easier for you to attain career success faster here than going over there. Because number one, when you get there, you are not a citizen. Okay, you don't have the same skin color. Your academic background, may not be as rich as theirs. So you may have to go back to school. You have to spend some time in school. You have to prove yourself beyond people that grew up in a system that works. All right. So all of those things are factors that you need to look at when you are japaing. So what is your japa motivation? All right. Or if you are staying, what is your motivation for staying? And then your motivation will then determine. So it's just like the end determining the means. But I tell you the truth, japa is not the only route to success. Dangote did not japa before he became the biggest, the richest, or the wealthiest black man. Otedola did not have to japa. And many of the people that we have today that are doing fantastically well in their career, there are many people here that have made millions and billions. There are more people that will make it from the comfort of Africa. So that is just the way I see it. Any other questions?
Okay, yes, I have a question.
Yes, please.
All right. Thank you very much for this section. Okay, so I have two questions to ask. We know
Thank you. Please go ahead.
In order to maximize our potential in the new year, it's important for someone to stay motivated and most definitely stay focused. So this is more like a personal question. So I would like to ask, how do you stay motivated in order to, you personally, how do you stay motivated in order to achieve your goals? Or probably how do you find inspiration?
Personally.
Yes, how do you find inspiration to achieve your own personal goals?
Okay.
Well, my second question is that, okay, as a young professional, what do you wish as a person that you wish you had known earlier in your career? Or probably something someone should have told you earlier in your career, you wish you had known it earlier in your career? I think those are the two questions I have for you this evening.
Okay. So let me start from the second question, right? Between you and I don't have any regrets, and I don't think there is something I should have known earlier in my career. The reason being that if there is anything like luck, I think I'm one of the lucky ones, right? I started from sales. I'm now in HR. It is not very common that you see people moving from sales into HR. Okay. And again, I tell people, if they say where your colleagues are or where your mates are and things like that, I also think I am where my mates are or where my mates should be. If there's anybody that is doing better than me, which of course there are several people at my level that are doing better than me, those are also exceptional cases, which I like to be like them. Okay. But I don't also think that I'm in a very bad place. No, I don't think so. So that is for me as a person. Okay. Now, going back to the first question you asked on what I do, right? What motivates me? Let me start by saying that what actually motivates different individuals, differ. For some people, money is the motivating factor. So far I have more money in my account, so far I can make more money, I can get more salaries and things like that. They stay motivated to achieve their goals. For some other people, it is more instinctive stuff, right? It could be something as little as job title that motivates another person. Some people will not mind taking a pay cut just to go and get a bigger job title somewhere else. Okay, so it is actually dependent on what motivates each individual. So for me now, okay, what motivates me? Money motivates me a lot, and I'm not sorry to say it. That does not mean that I'm ready to jump ship to the next employer that is ready to give me that money. Okay, no, but I'm saying that I like money, right? And when I have it, I think I feel happy, and that is why I'm happy with my current organization. And because you are not doing poorly at all, you are an accountant, you want to build your profession, come and join Pedable. Okay, we spoil you. So that is it. And then again, when I look at what my mates are doing, I am someone that challenges myself a lot, and some of my friends are on this in this meeting because I could see a few chats, on WhatsApp, commenting on some of the things I've said. When I see a friend that is doing better than me in terms of the projects they are managing, in terms of the things they are handling in their places of work, I also am interested in doing such. Okay, because in doing all of these new things, that's how we learn and that's how we grow. So challenges motivate me to actually get better, to be a better person than I was. So those are few of the things that I could say motivate me and help me to achieve my goal from a career perspective. Thank you, Shim. I hope I was able to answer your question. Okay, do we have any other?
Yeah, thank you very much for your insights, sir. So, in one of your recent posts on LinkedIn, you cited that success and achievements are not measured on yearly basis but one's lifetime. Okay, citing that post now, what benchmark should we as aspiring professionals use on yearly basis to make sure that we are actually improving and we're actually better than what we were last year?
Beautiful. Yeah. The amount of money you've made alone is not enough indicator to tell us that you are successful. I think measuring success are from different angles and perspectives. And for me, I will look at, okay, my last organization, what was my job title? What was my job description? Where I currently am, what is my job title? What is my job description? What kind of meetings am I attending? Am I able to attend those kind of meetings where I was coming from? Okay. What kind of decisions am I making, or what kind of decisions am I a part of making? So if from a career perspective, you see yourself handling more things, more, not in terms of volume of work now, okay? Not in terms of volume of work, but in terms of quality of work, right? That is one. So if they are able to commit, so for instance, if you work in a consulting firm and they just look at you and say the toughest client or the biggest client in terms of value, in terms of commercial value, let us give it to this guy to manage. Then that is growth. So it could be that your job title has not changed. It could be that your salary has not changed. But for someone to look at you and give you something that's important, then it means you have grown. If you now attend some kinds of meetings, high-level meetings where high-level conversations are happening, it is a success indicator. It is a growth indicator that you are moving up in your career. So the kind of decisions you are a part of making, the kind of thoughts, okay, your opinions that you are sharing actually are also indicators of growth. The kind of reports they are asking you to write now. So maybe before you are writing just a functional report, a unit-based report, but right now you are writing a report that captures indicators, for the entire Department of Business Unit. It shows some level of growth because we are looking at creative thinking, we are looking at technical capability, we are looking at critical thinking, we are looking at the fact that you can also be a part of decision making. We are looking at your maturity, to be able to handle some things. So those are other indicators.
Okay, all right. Thanks. Yeah, to professionals, right? Okay, so
Maybe
in
mentor,
terms
not
of
coach.
okay, so in terms of measuring growth now for aspiring professionals, is it something that we should bother our coach or our mentors with, or it's something that should be handled on a personal ground?
Well, even if it is personal to you, you probably also need someone that has gone through that path, to put you through, right? Um, the reason we have mentors essentially is for us to be able to move in certain paths more easily. So your mentor may have had it rough, but because they have gone through that path, they can tell you what they did, in order to navigate. And you can also then be proactive to doing the same thing. Okay. I mean, I have one of my mentors on the call, Titi Lola. Nice having you, Ma. These are some of the people that we can go to say, oh, how do I handle this thing? How will you handle this? If you were in this situation or if you are in this position, what would you do? Okay, so the fact that you know what you want to do does not mean you know how to do it. And your mentor and coach are there to actually guide you into the how, not only into the what. So mentors and coaches actually paint a picture of what you should be doing based on their assessment of you, but much more importantly is the how to also doing it, which a mentor and coach should help you to, to know.
Okay, thank you very much for your responses, sir. Okay, so my last question is this. For communities like finance business
Please,
partners
can
and
you
other
come
communities,
again? Please, can
okay,
you come
thank you very
again?
much for okay, thank you for the insights and the responses you gave earlier. So my last question for the evening is okay, for communities like the finance business partners and other communities like Accounting Job Hub and others that are actually trying to bring like minds together for personal and career progress. How did you feel that belonging to such communities would actually go a long way? Is it something that every aspiring professional should actually incorporate in their quest to become successful, like joining communities of like minds and growing together?
Definitely. I was actually going to ask you when you are going to add me to your community. Okay, so I said earlier that I moved from sales into HR, and these are some of the things that I did there. Number one, I knew that I wanted to be HR. I'm in sales. It is misaligned. My status at then was misaligned from my goal when compared. So what do I need to do? Because for HR, you need experience, you need people to place a bet on you and things like that. So I discovered a group called HR Pro Leverage, a WhatsApp group. It's a community of HR professionals, right? And then I joined the group. That's where I met Titi Lola, right? And I joined the group, and many of the names I see on LinkedIn, I started seeing from there. And I'm a part of their conversations. I see how they talk. I see things. People bring the challenges in their different organizations there, and I was learning. So for me, it was an MBA outside of the four walls of classroom, because I'm actually seeing action learning, from another perspective. So case studies, action learning, we are getting it on the go from such communities. And from there, we have actually also engaged in a lot of collaborative projects. So someone wants to do something in their organization, they don't know how to do it, we quickly set up a group or a platform to say, let us help you. Because from there, we also learn how to do it. Do you understand? We are also able to even do some commercially relevant stuff. And today we can actually go, you can actually go and get projects, you can get bids, you can do stuff together. So networks like this actually helps people, to become more commercially savvy. It helps people to actually collaborate. And collaboration is one of the things that you actually need to look into in maximizing your potential for 2023, because there are some things that you don't know how to do that another person, could do seamlessly. And then you collaborate in your own areas of weakness. They are bringing their strength in order to execute the project and achieving a common goal. So networks like this are very fantastic, and I encourage people, to be a part of it. Please, I'm expecting you to add me to that network so I can meet new people and learn finance. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate your time with us. If anyone has further questions, you can unmute yourself and ask your question while our resource person is still with us. Okay, so in the absence of further questions, and since our resource person would be part of us in our WhatsApp platform and other platforms very soon, we can always converse on daily basis. So I think we can draw the curtain here for this edition or this month's session. I think we can draw the curtain here on this month's session. So Mr. Emmanuel, thank you very much for making time out to actually speak to us this evening. We appreciate your time and we are looking forward to having you in our community.
Thank you. Thank you for doing me the honor of inviting me. It's a pleasure talking to you, especially on the 30th day of December. And I wish every one of you a happy new year in advance. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, once again. So we urge everyone or the participants in this call to imbibe what our resource person has actually dished out this evening. And we are expecting that come 2023, we are going to have a fabulous year. And we as a community, we've actually had a good plan for our community members. We have lots of great stuff coming on board, and we are looking forward to having you all with us in 2023. And we are actually open to welcoming new members, so you can invite your friends, colleagues, and associates to join our community. Thank you very much once again, everyone, for making some time out to learn with us this evening. We look forward to having you all again next month in our next edition come January 2023. Thank you all.